live. There we go. Hello, my friends. How are you doing? Thanks for joining me for the live stream. 1 second. Let me find everything here. Let me close this real quick. There we go. This is closed. This is still open. Should we close it here too? Yeah. Okay. Good. There we go. Hi, everybody. Let me put the chat in the middle. So today we're going again to a stream where we just convert the your images into AI videos. 1 second. Let me mute my phone real quick. There we go. All right. What web uploading image? Yeah, you can post a link. Hi Dota 2, thanks for joining. Hi Croqueta Gamer, thanks for joining. Yeah, I was missing on the channel. I haven't done a video in a long time. I wanted to do a video yesterday about the new California ruling. We can talk about that a little bit today. By the way, I look super sweaty. Do we have any? 1 second. Also a little bit like very bright. 1 second, maybe we can check that real quick. Hop. Nope, that was wrong. Let me check this real quick. I look kind of strange. Brightness, maybe a little bit. Oh, that's not good. That's better. Saturation, maybe a little bit more saturation. That, what is that? The bright light. Oh, it's coming from over here. Well, I'm just like, it's so hot here. It's crazy. Okay. All right. So yes. 1 second. Now the chat is gone again. It's a circle of madness. There we go. Okay. A lot of the AI update was coming out and really struggle which one to learn. I'm gonna make in the next week or like the next 2 weeks, I'm gonna make a lot of videos about the different UIs in 2024, basically, like now, to just show them and what has changed. Let's say hello to the other people. Hi, Eric. Thank you very much for joining. Long-time viewer. A Imagination, thanks for joining. Chuan, thanks for, or Choao. Carlos, hi. Hi, Carlos. Let's go like that. Hi, Paul. Thank you for being a channel supporter. Hi, AI Nomad Art. Thanks for joining. Hi, Anime. Hi, Vinci. Hi, Yannick. Hi, Knabby. Hi, Michael. Thanks for joining. They don't have Midjourney, only Flux image I can upload. Oh, it's no problem. Does it say Midjourney? No, you can upload any kind of AI image, but it has to be 16 by 9 or ideally 16 by 9, right? So that would be good. So we can actually, and something that has a little bit of motion in it. So not something that's like super static or like can inspire motion or something, if you know what I mean. To Europe this year. Yeah, it's crazy hot in Europe right now. And the problem is we don't have air conditions here. So yeah. We're just like sitting it out because usually it isn't that hot here. We have most of the year is like winter or autumn, and spring are also like full of rain and lower temperatures. And then this summer is like crazy, not only crazy hot but also crazy long. And actually when I'm in Bangkok it's warmer there because it's warmer than here, but it's cooler because everything is air conditioned. The subway, the stores you go to, your home, the lobbies, everything is air conditioned. Here nothing is air conditioned. So yeah, maybe the shopping centers are air conditioned, but I don't go there too much here. Yeah, in Iceland we didn't get summer this year. Really? You didn't get summer? Like what does that mean? No, like just rain, or just like, is it just cold? Is it just rainy or something? I don't know. Okay. There we go. By the way, I'm not sure if I do it tomorrow, but I'm gonna probably like tomorrow, the day after tomorrow, make a video about Forge to look into that, which is like going on with the legacy of Automatic 1111, and then maybe also start making more videos about Forge. because there's a lot of people who just use AI to create images. They don't want to like fiddle around and stuff like that. So it might be interesting to look into that. Like 10 days of summer. Interesting. Right. Duskwood? What is Duskwood? When do you live? When do you do live currently? Usually it's on Sunday. I didn't do one yesterday. Sorry, I didn't do one last week, but usually on Sunday around 9 p.m. my local time here in Vienna. I moved it 1 hour back. I used to do it at 8 o'clock. And then I thought maybe 9 o'clock is better for US and Canada, but I'm not quite sure if that is true or not. Yeah, anyways. Runway IP date extended videos, Gen 3, 40 seconds. I read about that, but I don't see it. And Gen 3 videos, like I have a choice between 5 seconds and 10 seconds. I don't see 30 seconds. Let me switch over to, no, I don't see that. Like, how do you get that? Generate, no, this is not it. Or do you mean like extend? You can extend a video that you have already rendered to some longer video. Not quite sure about that. Okay. Did anybody? Okay, we have already 2 images here. 1 second. Is that an image? No, that's a YouTube video link. So this is not for YouTube video links. This is for like you sent me an image and I turn it into an AI. I turn it into an AI video. Like we did. This is not 16:9 already. Like, please don't send images like this, because how am I gonna turn it into a video? It has to be 16:9. This is 9 by 16 probably. 16:9 is what your screen is. It's a normal screen format, because Runway requires 16:9. I can't put anything else here. Otherwise, it has to be like cropped pretty strongly. We can try to crop this, but it doesn't like have much room to play with. And the other one is a YouTube video, which is not, there's another YouTube video, which is not what we're gonna do today. Or should we look at that in the meantime? I'm not quite sure. Let me switch over here, then I can have a look. I hope it doesn't have sound. Maybe it's something nice. 1 second. Turn it off. Path. Sporty girls. Yeah, we can have a look at that. Why not? Until we get some more images. 1 second. So you have the screen. And I can't put it like full screen. Maybe I should really change my screen while I'm streaming to like just 16:9, because I have a wider format, and then when I make it full screen, it's kind of cut off on the side for you. Or maybe I could just make a second version of my screen, but I'm not sure if this will like be better. I think it's big enough so you can see it. So this is just like some videos of like fitness girls. Access path. I have the sound turned off in case it's like copyrighted or something like that. So let's have a look at that with some water. Ah. There we go. Oh, Path is the brand name. I see. Huh, interesting. Is this the actual, this is maybe the actual product? Okay, it's for a bottle. I kind of wonder how these like brands for bottles, like how do they distinguish each other? Because basically a bottle is a bottle. I don't even understand why people buy these bottles anyways. Although, to be honest, I have a lot of tumblers. So, yeah. But they have nice designs. I buy them because they look good. But like bottles usually just like have practical use. They don't have like specific designs. This is kind of a Gucci thing here. Can also look at that. 1 second. So it's probably some kind of like demo or something. 1 second. Maybe I should look at the chat. I promised you to look more at the chat, so I should do that. Recently, Runway stealthily removed its code repository from the Hugging Face platform, including the highly anticipated Stable Diffusion 1.5 project, causing a significant stir in the tech community. Really? Why was there a stir? This is the Gucci video here. It says Gucci at the beginning. It also says Gucci down here. By the way, I see, like, if you go to Asia, there's so many. Oh, that's already it. Okay, that was a pretty short video. If you go to Asia, you see people waiting in line for Gucci store, Louis Vuitton store, stuff like that. And I thought, well, if that's like that huge a brand, and like now Asia is growing massively for their like income, lots of rich people there, maybe that's a good brand to invest in. Then I looked it up. Actually, no. Gucci and Louis Vuitton are really on the downside for some reason. I don't know. They're losing money. They are not, like, the stock is going down. They have problems selling their goods. Even though people wait like 30 people outside of the store to buy a $5,000 handbag for some reason. Also, by the way, one thing that's really strange is there isn't like, maybe it wasn't really established ever but they don't really have bags for men. I think so. I'm not quite sure because I'm not into that kind of brand stuff, but like you see a lot of these like Eastern European countries where the men have these kind of bags here on the front. You would think that's kind of a brand or something, a thing to sell. Man, I'm glowing today. It's crazy. Okay. Let me see. Sorry, my question isn't for here, but is it possible to use multiple face models on videos when using Reactor add-on on Stable Diffusion? In some way, you can use more than one control net. You can use as many control nets as you want, maybe not too many. If you use ComfUI, you can like load a model for every different face. Anything you want goes, and you can do face tracking, and then the faces have numbers, so you can say, okay, phase 1 is this model, phase 2 is that model, phase 3 is that model, or different LoRa's that are trained on faces, so that should be possible. You can also do like masking things that can automatically track the face. That's also a possibility. But with ComfUI, you can build a pretty complex like workflow on how things come together. With other UIs, because they are like rigid in their form, they don't really allow you to like stack things together. Not so much. So ComfUI would probably be the best for that. Copyright issues. All the Runway models have been removed from Hugging Face. I mean, probably because they want to make money and like make it, what's the word? Make it their own thing. I don't remember the word right now, but you know what I mean. By the way, let me look up that AB 3211 111 maybe. No, 1 second. California AI Act. I wanted to talk about that. Ah, there we go. I want to do a video about that. Maybe tomorrow. I wanted to do one today, or actually yesterday, but I didn't because I wasn't kind of unclear about what it is. So there's an act, just like a little interim, proprietary. That's the word, proprietary. Yes, thank you very much, Triple Up Monkey. Hi, thanks for joining. So they make an act. And then there was a post on Reddit that kind of, I feel like, was a little bit blown out of proportion about it has to be invisible. Like you have to put like a watermark on AI images to identify them as AI images. And that kind of post on Reddit was like, oh, and it has to be like a technology that doesn't exist yet. And it has to be non-removable, and it has to be invisible. And then it's really damaging for the open source models. But at the same time, the big companies like Adobe and Microsoft and OpenAI support it, which is to a certain extent true. But first of all, like they revisited that, what is it called, that bill multiple times. They removed a lot of stuff. They changed a lot of stuff. So the invisible thing is, I think, kind of out of there. And I think the only thing that they are trying to do is that when there is AI, when the image is AI generated, there has to be some kind of marking. I'm not quite sure if or why the marking has to come from like the pages that generate the images, and if it also applies to your local computer. If you have like ComfUI or Forge, do you also have to mark it, or does like Facebook have to figure out what it is and then mark it? And that kind of makes sense because for a lot of people who are not like accustomed to AI, they don't understand that this is a virtual image that is not true, and so they can be easily manipulated. But then also there's like a growing like fake traffic economy online, where not only are the images fake, but all the likes and comments are also fake from bots. And the reason why they do that is they want to, first of all, like trick the algorithm to get higher in the rating so more people see it, and then maybe get some real reactions from that too. But mostly it is the more views you get, the more you get paid for that. So they want to just like milk the ad money from these pages, right? So I feel like some sort of regulation might not be the worst thing, because it's like, it's a different thing if you like adjust things a little bit with Photoshop to make it look better, or have something that is completely fake and completely AI generated. Yeah, and like I said, mostly like I think a lot of people don't understand AI, what it is, what it does, or have any kind of like ability to differentiate it. And it is used in a lot of ways that is even now it is used in a criminal way, not just with photos but also with faking voices to call you with the voice of your son and then like ask for some money, stuff like that. Of course you could always say, well, the criminals are not going to care about any kind of like labeling or marking, and they will just remove the watermarks and then post the images anyways. So while that is true, at the same time you need some kind of regulation, some kind of system that says, but it's not okay. So if it happens, it is illegal, because otherwise if you do it and there's no ruling, you can do it and it is not illegal. So this is why you need a rule to, like, in the case when you figure it out, when it's happened, you can say no, you can't do that. So I don't think it's the end of the world. I actually think like it's maybe helpful, especially for the common folk out there who don't understand too much about AI. The only question is like, what's the impact for open source at that point? Because if you have to have a system for your local computer also, you have to figure that out. And then like, how are you reliable for that? And is private information shared about you or not? So is the metadata just about, is it AI, what kind of model was used, or is it who created that and from where, and like actual personal information, you know what I mean? Yeah, but well, otherwise it's interesting. Also, I think the open source community can do that. I mean, in the metadata of ComfUI images, the complete workflow is in the metadata. That is a massive amount of data that is in the metadata. It's not a watermark, but it's metadata and it's already there. So it's not like we don't have these systems. Okay, let's check out the chat. I almost forget about the chat always. If you image to image now, an original non-AI image will have a watermark making it look like it's an AI image, and the non-watermark... What? If you image to image now, an original non-AI image will have a watermark making it look like it's an AI image, and the non-watermark one is a removed watermark marked false. If that's the case, I don't know. It's my... If it runs through the system and you have the denoise so low that it's actually not changing something, that might be something that might like create a fake watermark for it to say it's AI. But then again, how often are people going to do that? Why would you do that specifically? It's been used a lot in political since 2015, and so without regulation. Yeah, right. It's used in politics a lot, and people often can't differentiate. And even if they can differentiate, they often say, yeah, but I think about that person like that anyways, you know? And so it's just like visualizing their inner monologue or the things that they have like just heard, but now they can also see them, so they can imagine it even stronger. And that's manipulation. So to have a rule against manipulation and then also marking that shows what is AI, what is not AI, makes a certain amount of sense, if you know what I mean. Okay, let me check if there is like more images. Oh, 15, holy crap. Okay, I didn't even see that. Okay, let me check that out. What do we have here? Oh, beautiful lady, okay. 1 second, let me close some stuff here. So I think we will have more regulation, but the question always is it in the best interest of society at large, you know? Because we need some rules, but we don't need rules that take away from our rights of like expression, you know? And that's the most important thing. Because like, for example, if you think about the internet, you can't do everything. Some things are not allowed. They are illegal on the internet, but most things are allowed, right? And so that makes sense. So you can express yourself to most of the extent, but then of course some stuff you can't do because it's not legal. But it's not legal otherwise too. It doesn't have to do anything with the internet. It's just like, okay, on the internet you can't do that because outside of the internet it's not legal either. Okay, how can I make clothes from a 2D character? How can I make a clothes for 2D character? I'm not quite sure what you mean. You could like make an open pose of the character. Like maybe what I would do is if you have Krita for if you have Krita with ComfUI installed with the AI plugin, you can have the image and then just make a second layer and paint over the parts with the color you want the clothing to be and make different clothing designs, right? Okay, let me switch over here so you can see the images we have so far, which is a lot. Let's start here with the beautiful lady. Downloads, there we go. Save. And then we can put this in here. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. There we go. Okay, cool. Beautiful woman with round glasses in neon light. Camera moving away from her. Okay. Cinematic light maybe. Okay, let's see what that gets us. And then we can also see if we can extend that or not. Okay, 1 second. Let me check the chat. I can't train a model on Koya with 4068 GB, but works fine with one trainer with the same images, which is shocking. Maybe the settings are wrong. You have to check that out. And also maybe you have to set the batch to 1 so it doesn't render multiple images at the same time, which I feel sometimes it's even faster than rendering it as the batch. Than like rendering 5 images at the same time, which needs a lot of VRAM and might slow the process down. If you increase the saturation of AI generated images to like 200 or 400, then you will see some artifacts that you don't get on original images. It's due to the VAE. Oh, interesting. How do you like increase the saturation of AI generated images? Or do you mean afterwards in post? Okay, let's take the other image here. This is a PNG, but that should also work. Maybe I just leave the rest of it. Barbarian man in a cave with 2 wolves fletching their teeth and fire. Okay. Wait, I only can generate 2 videos at the same time? What the hell is this? Wasn't it like 5 or something like that? Why is... Oh, now it's more. Okay, let's download this real quick. 1 second. Okay, so we can check out the videos. Let's keep this here. So this is the first video. Oh, look at that. That's pretty good. Oh, the car is driving in the background. That's beautiful. Look at that. She's looking like a little bit past the camera, not directly at us, but I like the cars driving in the background. There is kind of like a pillar like growing out of nothing at some point, but other than that, it's pretty cool. Look at the slight like hair movement from the air. That is pretty nice. The reflection in her glasses. Look how they move with her head. And she's blinking too. That's actually pretty good. That is stunning. Okay, cool. Let's look at the next one. This is the second one. Oh! Holy moly. Okay. Yeah, she's very bendy. Damn. But the neck skin is like actually following that, which is surprising. And then also look at the reflections in her glasses, how they change. From the red light we have on the left to the blue light we have basically on the right and seemingly also behind us. But that neck stretch is, or neck rotation is way too strong. But these lips, look at these like... how do you say, what is this? What do you call this? These little hills on the top of the lips. Do they have a name? I feel like we don't really have a name for most of that area here, right? I mean, you have upper lip, lower lip, stuff like that, but I don't know. Probably women know about that because of the makeup and stuff where you put that, because you make a line around the lip. So it has probably the edge of the lip has a name or something. I don't know. Okay. Let's go. Let's download these and download that. And then we need some more images here. So we have the train. Okay. And then I'm going to look at the chat 1 second. I kind of wish I had someone to enter all that stuff for me. So I can talk more. Train. Moving. Oh, I had neon light with the... Well, it doesn't matter. Driving fast through a valley in summer. Okay, let's remove this cinematic light. The train. Okay, let's generate this twice. And then let me check out the chat. Well, this is really multitasking here. What did I miss? So many comments. Holy crap. So there is a legit real image that is used to legal battle. Then they take the image and run it through AI and give it a watermark. And in other ways, it's the same. Now it's claimed as AI. Not really. Like, if you... 1 second, let me go to the big screen. If you enter any kind of evidence from a camera and there is any kind of doubt that if it's the actual real image, which should be actually always, because you can tamper with digital images, you have to like these kind of like digital forensics that look at the data of the image. Where does it come from? Is everything there in the metadata? Has the image been doctored with stuff like that? And through that, they can kind of like figure out if it's a real image, and then if they have doubt that it's not a real image or is doctored with, you can't use it as evidence. So it's not like just because you have a camera image, you can just use it in court. That's not how it works. You have to prove that it's an actual real image from that situation and has not been doctored with at the same time, right? Because also that's so easy to do. There we go. Okay, have we looked at the Barbarian yet? No. Let's read some more comments first. If you take a picture taken by camera or phone, encoded with VA, and encode again, we'll get those artifacts. If you increase the saturation by a few times, as already, would be great if you could generate human intelligence models by attaching electrodes to the brain and training them with the images stored in your mind. I guess at some point we can do that, because I think like we can already, let me go back here, we can already like record some like dream images or something, or images that we think about, but basically in a very like laboratory situation right now. So they show people an image and then they say think about that image, and they measure the brain waves and then reconstruct it from the brain waves to have something that looks vaguely like the image, to figure out where in the brain is it happening that you remember something or envision something, and then what does the brainwave look like. But it's far from good enough at the moment. But I think at some point we will certainly have something like that, where you can record your inner like dreams or pictures that you think about, stuff like that. But of course, think about that, not everybody has that. Like for example, for me, strangely enough, I see most of my memories as still images. I don't really remember them as like little video clips or something. My mother does, I asked her, but for me it's mostly still images. It's not like emotion or anything. And some other people don't have these like inside images or inside voices at all, which is kind of strange. But if you talk to them, they just have a different process on how doing things. So it's not the same for everybody, you know. But yeah, I think at a certain point it kind of becomes the question of how do you record your everyday actions good enough so you can train an AI on yourself to maybe make a virtual copy of yourself, right? And I think we will even see these kind of things to a certain extent in our lifetime, because it just makes sense, right? Like for example, if you have a really good investor or some not investor, sorry, a really good like visionary like company leader or whatnot, you know, let's maybe Steve Jobs or Elon Musk or other people who like come up with good ideas and can like organize people in a nice way. Why wouldn't you want to have an AI that is like functioning in like giving you at least certain elements or parts of the inside of how this person would react, even though the person isn't here yet anymore, right? Because this kind of like guidance is actually kind of the most important part if you have a business like that. Because skill, you can buy skill. You don't have to have skill, but you have to know what a good product is and how to bring the product to the market. There we go. And that's not easy. Most people can't do that. Even if they are like the best people in the business, they have huge problems doing that. But some people are really good at that, and that's like if you have like Steve Jobs or Elon Musk are like serial entrepreneurs and did like really big companies. Like Elon Musk did not just, he did PayPal, of course, which is where he first got his money from. And then of course, like it's extremely hard to make a car company, but he made it happen. And then the rockets and then the satellites and all that kind of stuff. So that's pretty impressive. And Steve Jobs did not just Apple, as you know, he bought Pixar and made it big. And some other stuff. I can't remember what the other stuff was, but he made multiple companies that are very influential, not just one. So, which is a good proof that it's not just like a fluke in the system or something. Okay, I should go a little bit faster here to show you the stuff. Did I press here? Oh yeah, I pressed. Okay, I can download this 1 second. I can already tell you we're not getting too much images today because I'm talking too much. Anyways, I think that's what the live stream is for anyways. There we go. Oh, there's not too much movement. Oh, we have some nice flames in the foreground. There we go. Okay. Pretty cool. Very nice, very nice. Okay, okay. I think also what AI is going to do is to be making, like enabling us to put like some of the genuine creativity of people into products, you know? Wow, this is actually pretty nice. I wish that he and the wolves would like move a little bit more. They are pretty static, but the fire is nice. And I like the motion, I forgot the word again. Motion tweening? No, it's not tweening. Parallax, the parallax between the different layers. Like you can see like the background here of the cave is moving at a different rate than the guy in the foreground is moving even faster. And that makes it look like more 3D and pretty nice. So basically, let me switch again. I need to connect my, what is it called? Like the Steam thing? No, not Steam thing. This button thing from Elgato. Steam Deck. Yeah, so I can switch easier. What was I about to say? Oh yes, if you think about your smartphone camera, the pictures you can take today with a camera would have been very hard to do in the past because it does a lot of editing while you take the photo at the same time, because of a lot of AI is applied based on the training these models on how to edit the photo so it looks good, because there's a lot of rules about photography, but then also you have like millions of pictures you can train these models on to make it look good and what we feel like is an aesthetic photo. It doesn't mean you can't do it any other way, but for most people that feels aesthetic, so this is what trained in there. However, this is more like just a median beauty statistic of how can you edit the photo to make it look nice. So every value is kind of like evened out in a nice way. The shadows are not too dark, the sky isn't blown out, and if it's blown out it's replaced with blue color, stuff like that. But it would be nice if you had like the minds of the best photographers in that smartphone to help you take better pictures, which to some extent you have. For example, right now a scene finder, you can turn it off, check your phone, that will, like if you point your camera at a scene, it will say, yeah, move it a little bit to the left and a little bit up and stuff like that, and that will be a better shot. Depends if it's really better shot, but it's trained on what we like from all these rules and from our aesthetic experience, like kind of feel like that looks nicer, right? But there might be even like more that can be done if you have the mind of a great photographer in the camera that helps you take better pictures, right? All right, 1 second. There's even like at Samsung, where do I switch here? There I switch, okay. If you have a Samsung phone, I don't know if the Apple phone can do that. I wanted to look at the chat, I haven't done that, sorry. Let me open up the last video here. Oh, this is very slow. It's a slow train. With the Samsung phone, you can take a series, like you press the button and it takes, I think, like 50 photos for you. Like you move the camera around, like in like a thing, in a way you feel like useful, and it cuts for you multiple videos, edits them in different styles, and also takes different photos out of that situation and gives you like a selection of the best shots out of that movement. So you don't even have to select the subject yourself, the camera does it for you. It's pretty interesting, right? Okay, sorry, I'm missing out on so much conversation here. So should I maybe read backwards through them? Triple Up Monkey says, most of the problem for me is the consciousness trying to imagine things. I can do it by accidentally. What? I can do it by accident easily. Most of the problem for me is consciously trying to imagine things. Oh, interesting. Okay, interesting. I also like, I talked with ChatGPT about the process, and because I want to make a video about the thinking process and how AI is different from our thinking process. And one thing that was really interesting is that ChatGPT said, well, AI doesn't do it stepwise right now, like the human brain does. So like if you have a thought process, basically already we call it a thought process, and you think, okay, what do I want to do? How would I do that? What would be the best way of these of the ways I could do it? Why would I do it that way? What is my personal taste towards that? And like it's a process, step by step you go through. Like if you imagine, what do I want to do this afternoon? Do I want to go to the park? Do I want to go swimming? Do I want to stay at home, watch a movie, play video games, stuff like that? And then you imagine these different situations and what benefits that I have. And then you figure out, well, maybe I could do this or that. So it's a step-by-step process. While for the AI, it's not a step-by-step process at the moment. It's a one-off thing. It says like maybe it just gives you a list of things, but it doesn't think about it step by step with the upsides and downsides. Also because it lacks experience, because it doesn't have its own life, it doesn't make its own decisions. So that's a problem for AI. Is the subjective perspective is missing, right? Okay. Anyways, let's look at the other video here. 1 second. I want to make a video about that too. I actually thought I made a video. I make maybe a second channel where I just talk about these opinion pieces. They are all very slow. Maybe I should do that again. They look nice, but they are very slow. Train. A high-speed train moving. Okay, let's make one more. And then, oh man, we have so many images. Wow, this is like from Game of Thrones, right? Okay, let me upload this here real quick. It's so nice that we have all these like 16:9 images today. 1 second. How do I even write that? With his sword. Action scene, cinematic light. Let's try it like this. If you think like I should put other things into the prompt, let me know. We can also adjust that. So this is rendering. Okay, let me check the chat real quick while this is rendering. 1 moment. Zooming by. Oh, that's a good idea. Okay. Doom AI is still pretty narrow and has its issues, so we are still way off, but it's promising. Doom AI? What is Doom AI? Why don't you use ChatGPT or Claude create prompt for you for these images? I could do that. That's a good idea, to use ChatGPT to use to create the prompts for this. Let me check this out real quick. I have to close the site here. And then let me find one of these prompts here. Okay, 1 second. Fast zoom, cinematic drone. Okay. Make me a prompt like this. About a warrior in a ice in a winter landscape. No, wait a second. A warrior in a winter landscape. Okay. Let's see if we can do that. Is that good? Let me see. So I made like, I took the prompt from Runway, which is first person view shot of a subject, hyperspeed fly, dynamic motion, dynamic blur, time lapse, 30 times speed, and the style of describe style, X cinema, for example, cinematic muted color palette. And then it created the prompt first person view shot of a warrior swinging a sword in a snow covered winter landscape, hyper speed motion, dynamic motion with the sword slicing through the icy air, dynamic maybe that's not too bad, blur on a blade and surrounding with snowflakes coat and the movement, time lapse, 30 times speed. Oh, it's a time lapse. Oh, because that's the inspiration. Well, we can try that. Let's give this a shot and see what it does. Okay, let's do that. This is the newer video here. It's insane. What is it saying? It's insane as this is the first real-time AI generated game engine. What is the first real-time AI generated game engine? Sorry. Don't believe when I tell them eventually we are not going to have apps anymore. We just tell the computer what you want. Doom AI even proves it. Oh, interesting. Let me check this real quick. Yeah, I also thought I had a discussion like that with someone from the... Is it called Doom AI? Because I don't really find... There is something called Doom AI? Is it that? Oh, okay. Okay, oh, for the Doom video game. Oh, interesting. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, cool. Yeah, but I had that conversation with someone from the AI scene, from these kind of startups, about like, does it make sense to design a UI for AI, or should we actually have an AI that creates its own UI while you ask what you want from it, so that always the interface adapts to the process of what you want to do individually, specifically to you, because my argument was, if you think about the smartphone, the big revolution of the smartphone is that we have now a touch screen which can become any kind of interface, while before we had like this fixed input of buttons, and the buttons, like also what Steve Jobs said, is like the buttons can only be the buttons with the labeling they have. You can't change that. While when you have a touch screen, you can put the buttons anywhere on the screen, do any kind of motion with them, and like that you can like do any kind of app and software on there, right? So that makes a lot of sense. And if AI can learn from that and do that, why not have the AI create the user interface for you for the specific thing you want to do, right? In the way that you feel most comfortable with it. Because if it's already AI generated, why not make also this dynamic rather than just the content dynamic, right? The top search result on Google. Did I miss it? It's not the Doom thing. The top search. That's the same thing. Is it not the same thing? This is like an article here. 1 second. So this is an article here. Generative AI creates playable version of Doom game with no code. The neural network can recreate the classic computer game Doom despite using none of its code or graphics. Hitting the generative AI could be used to generate games from scratch in the future. Hinting, not hitting, hinting. Yeah. And that's pretty cool. But you just simulate the output of it, and you don't need any of the input because the model basically understands what you want to do, right? Just like when you talk, you don't need like the books about words and grammar and stuff like that. You just talk. You just create the words, right? You skipped it. What sounds like a nightmare? Not quite sure. Look for the real AI. Well, it's kind of the thing, right? Because this, you can see that this also has a UI here. It has a UI, it has the game, but everything is real-time generated by the AI in the way you need it, in the way you want it, right? So this is just recreating Doom because probably it just was trained on Doom, and that's why it can recreate it in such a nice way. But if you have a larger model that is trained on more things, you could imagine some other stuff that it's doing for you with the buttons, with the input that you're using to control it, right? Very interesting stuff. Yeah, totally, right? So that could be an interesting thing. And I feel like that makes a lot of sense because it's important with AI to rethink not just like how can AI integrate into things we do today, but how will AI change the things we have in their nature, in what they are, right? And again, if you think about, let me go to the big screen again. again, if you think about the smartphone, all of the things we have in there, a photo camera, a video camera, you have like a music player, you have your newspaper, you have a book in there, all these kind of things, you have a map in there. They all looked very different before that, and now they have this format, but they also are very functional in what they are with this format, right? With their new abilities, basically. For example, when you have audiobooks, you can have like as many audiobooks as you can like afford, and it will remember where you left off last time for 50 books. Doesn't matter. You can come back 2 years later and still play from that one position, which you can't do with a cassette deck or something else like a CD player. It doesn't work like that, right? So it has also, it doesn't just like change the way it works, but also the abilities that it has. And that's kind of interesting to imagine, to think about that for AI. What does it mean for AI? What can we do with AI which we cannot do with the tools we have today? Not just replace them, but completely different. What is completely different from that, right? All right. The mix of doing a lot of stuff at the same time is a little bit overwhelming right now. 1 second. Did I download that video? Yes, I did. So this is the train is not going faster. I don't know what's going on here. It's a slow train. Okay, let's look at this guy and hope something good came out of it. 1 second. I only have 2 videos. Why do I only have 2 videos? Did I only? Well, let's check out what this did. So this is the prompt. Oh wow, this is the prompt that I wrote, which looks very strange, and turned it into completely something different. But it's kind of cool that we have this guy like running into the snow landscapes. The snow flakes are like plates. They are gigantic. Okay, that's not so good. Next one. Oh, his sword is getting longer and longer, turning into a lightsaber, and now he's just floating outside of the map. So that's kind of like a video game glitch here. Okay, that didn't work. The camera's rotating around him, but these kind of like Runway is not good at these kind of fighting motions, so that was kind of to be expected. All right, let me see what else we have here. This might be better. Let me see. Okay, now make one about a orange glowing black hole in space. Okay, there we go. Yeah, I have to fiddle around with this a little bit more, but let's see if this is better, because this is now like a standing object. This might be a little bit better. Did it already take it? Yes. Okay, cool. Good. Then we can go back and look at the chat. Being able to save state exactly. True, the German trains are always slow. It's really strange because the German railway was privatized, and since then it has gone really down. Because you would expect, like, if you have a government institution, it would be worse, and then if it's privatized, it works more efficiently. But the complete opposite happened, and in Germany, with the accuracy of how often the trains come and how late they are and stuff like that, it became so bad that Switzerland said, okay, we are not gonna let in some of your trains. Like, if you're too late, you have to wait for the next time on the schedule, so you'll be on time again, but we're not gonna let you in the country. At least that's what I read online, which is crazy, but also understandable, right? They have to clean up their act. It's really, really crazy. I prefer Gen 3 for text to video. In most cases, images will often lack dynamic movement. Yeah, Gen 3 is much better than Gen 2. Maybe too long for a prompt? Maybe. We will see it with these videos. Let's see. Because like these fighting things, that's like kind of the worst thing you can do with it. But this one is also with the time lags and 30 times speed. That might fit very well for this one, but it's for the other ones wasn't a great idea. So I should have to like refine that or something like that. But one of the best things with AI personally, for me, is just learning from ChatGPT, like asking it questions about all kinds of things in life, especially like philosophical questions, and then getting these answers and thinking about them is very, very nice. It's like having a private teacher, and this is still one of my favorite things for AI. And I think for the next generation, it will be a massive improvement. Holy crap. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow. That is crazy. That looks fantastic. Look at that. Whoa. That's like a trip into the, I don't know, into the multiverse. Whoa. That is really cool. We need more stuff like that. That looks beautiful. Okay, very, very nice. Actually, first person view of an orange glowing black hole spinning around itself. Maybe let's try this. This one is a little bit stuck here. Okay, let me go to the big screen real quick so I can check out some more images, because we kind of like at the end of the line here. What do we have here? Okay, we can take that. It's not 16 by 9, but I think we can take that. How do I download that? Oh, there we go. Okay. What do you think is going to be kind of like the winner of AI? Like which kind of company is going to be the outlier, like Facebook was back in the day? You know what I mean? Nope. That's the wrong format. Wrong format. Wrong format. Is it really so hard to understand 16 by 9? I mean, every screen today, other than smartphones, is basically 16 by 9, right? So why is that so hard? Oh, that's a nice one. Okay, cool. By the way, sorry that I'm not like pointing out the names of the different image creators today. There we go. Okay, let's go with these for the moment. What is that? Okay, that's an article. Where's the... Oh, there we go. Okay, cool. Let me switch back here. There we go. I really need that Steam Deck connected next time. All right, 1 second. Oh, this is not the new prompt with the spinning, by the way. This is the same prompt, but just rendered a second time, which also looks kind of cool. Very nice. Pretty interesting. I feel like you could use that as a visual effect and then maybe replace the black hole in the middle with something you render separately, because it's pretty static. But overall, that looks fantastic, right? I think like Runway in general is good with these kind of like motion things. They spin out of like proportion and make any kind of crazy thing, but often you get some really interesting, very nice effects, right? Yeah. I'm often a little bit like disappointed when I see AI video projects and the only thing they do is try to look like classic movie. And then just do a classic movie. Don't do AI. Like actually use the potential of AI to make it AI-like. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's see. Let's take this one first. Okay. Give me one with an older couple sitting in a valley, camera zooming from them slowly. No, zooming away from them. No, no time lapse. Time lapse. No 30x speed. Okay, let's see what it is. Do it like that. Make it shorter. Second, a peaceful valley, the camera gently zooms out, revealing a lush green landscape around them. Warm cinematic style with rural colors, emphasizing tranquility and quiet companionship. Okay, we can give that a shot and see what it does. Let's see. Do this twice. There we go. Okay, this is the last one here is the one with the spinning. So let's see what this does. Then I have to go back to the chat. Oh, well. It only worked for a second. It looks crazy. It looks nice, but it's not exactly... I mean, in the middle here, it's starting to spin. But it's not like this kind of like spinning, black hole kind of spinning. That didn't work. You probably have to fiddle around with the prompt enough to get it... wait. Accretion disk. Okay. I don't think Runway knows what an accretion disk is, but we can still try that. Black hole. Accretion disk in space. Cinematic light. Okay. Oh, we have to wait. I don't. They for some reason I think they reduced the queue you have here. Experiencing high demand, turbo may allow a higher number of concurrent control. Oh, but last time we tried turbo, it was way worse. Okay, let me go back to the chat. Even though we all use Flux at the moment, we still forget. I think it's too early to stay. See. Might have said Netscape Navigator and AOL would rule the internet forever. Yeah, right? Netscape was an interesting concept. It's kind of like interesting that they couldn't adapt Netscape, but I think like Netscape is actually an interesting example. Like I didn't really study their history, to be honest, but I think when I remember correctly, the thing about Netscape is that it basically was a company that just did a browser. It's that the browser was supposed to be the product because you buy the browser like you buy a software, and they couldn't imagine that the software is not the product, which other companies did imagine at the same time, you know. So Microsoft had the Internet Explorer, which is deeply integrated into Windows and the like browsing of the system, of the file, stuff like that. And you have Google, which is not just a browser, it's a search engine, but it makes sense to have its own browser because then you can collect even more data about the user and their habits, specifically for your company. So you have like first person view basically on their data, so that makes a lot of sense. All these kind of different concepts for a browser. So at that point, a browser stopped to be a product and started to be just a gateway to user interaction, which is like just a free part. So it's interesting that in our economy, a lot of things have changed away from what they are to being just a tool or an element in the overall process. For example, if you think about music, in the past, music was imagined, or like music was the product. You are a musician because you make music and then you sell the music. And today that's not really the case anymore, because the most money, as far as I know, comes from merchandise, it comes from events, and from the like powerful like effects and stuff and dancers and all the things you have on the events. And it comes a lot from all this kind of social media playback with the advertisement. As far as I know, very little comes from actual sales, because who really buys music anymore? Why would you buy music today? Just like why would you buy a TV show today if you have a streaming service and you have that service anyways, and you usually just watch a show once because there's so many shows coming out, so many movies coming out, that the product is no longer the product itself. I feel like It's going to be pretty similar with video games over time, where the video game itself is just the entry point and you don't pay for the video game. Like, of course, already we have a lot of free-to-play video games and live service video games, and they make money through selling you skins and battle passes and all these kind of things, rather than selling the game itself, which kind of makes a lot of sense, especially if you have multiplayer content, because you need a lot of players, but you can't like demand from the players to all buy the product because it's just so expensive. So it makes more sense to have a lot of players and then have a small quantity of them actually pay you for the content, because the numbers are so big that you can do that. So it's all about how, in what dimension of size and of transaction does the economy happen, right? And some economies need a product to be there, and other economies have the product actually just as the entry point, and then you pay for the on top services and additions and stuff like that, you know. So yeah, it's like that. And I think a lot of stuff like that will change. It already has changed. Like, for example, if you have Amazon Prime, you get free movies, you get free music, you get free books, you get free delivery, right? So a lot of the things you would have paid in the past for, you don't pay anymore for, because the overall, having the overall service and then charging you a monthly amount is more stability financially for them than selling you something you might buy for a big price. Like, especially like if you have looked at books, they have become pretty expensive, right? So a book is now, I don't actually know, but I think like 16 to 18 or 20 dollars or euros for one book. That's crazy. If I can get 2 months of like endless like consumption, why would I buy one book for the price of 2 months? That doesn't make sense, right? So you rather pay for the 2 months, and then they make money that way, because a lot of people are subscribed, but they are not always using it, and they're not always using everything, right? So it's just like that. I mean, if you think about my channel, my content is free to you, but it's not free to the advertisers who put advertisement on my videos, right? So, but I don't charge you, right? Even though you are my audience, you don't pay me. You can support me if you want to, which is very nice and really helps me to keep my channel alive. But the product is actually the advertisement. It's not the advertisement that YouTube puts on the videos. It's not the video itself. The video itself is free, right? And it makes a lot of sense for me to have free products. I can give my knowledge to more people. I can help more people, and at the same time, I still get paid, but from different people, right? And it's just like, it is just good business in my book, you know. Because I much rather have money from YouTube ads and also from your monthly support if you want to do that, than pay, like asking you for money specifically. Because as an individual, you would have to pay me a large amount, and now you don't have to pay anything and you still get all of the product, right? So that's pretty good. All right, that's pretty cool. And this is the other one. She's looking at us. Oh, that's so nice. Look at that. So look at that. She's looking up at us for a second and then looking down back at the book. That is so cool. That is very nice. Oh, and then we have some soft bokeh in the foreground, which is a bit too much bokeh. But if you like cut it around here, I think that might be good, right? That is pretty cool. Right. By the way, if you didn't know, you can also do donations to the chat. There is some super chats you can do that would also support my channel. Do we have more videos? No, we don't have more videos. Okay, let me look at the chat because I forgot about that again. The audience is a product though, so it's going to be interesting when this will change. No, the audience is not really the product. I mean, the audience is the product to YouTube, right? To me, it's the ads that YouTube puts on the videos. So we have different different interests basically, right? Although for me, like the audience is, how can I say? Well, actually, you can define it in a way where because I get paid by the ads and not by the community, I can have a very open and like free connection to the community, right? Because you don't pay me directly, I can do whatever I want. And of course, I try to do some things that are interesting for you, but I'm completely free in what I do, when I do it, why I do it. Everything is free. I'm not bound by creating a product, right? So if you would pay me directly, I would have to deliver a product that you like enough that you pay me for it, which is a very tight grip on that, right? For example, imagine you go to, I don't know, let's say Starbucks, and you don't like the coffee on Monday, but you like the coffee on Tuesday, and then again you don't like the coffee on Wednesday. You would probably like not be happy because you paid every single time, right? But if it's like it's a free coffee, it's free, you know. Like if you didn't like it, it was like okay, I didn't like it too much, but the next one is going to be, it's a different relationship, you know what I mean? That was a bad example, but I think you know what I mean. And this kind of freeing it up from what I can do is also making the, how can I say it, the process more fluent, right? You have other channels out there, and I would say, and sorry if you're a Mr. Beast fan, but Mr. Beast is like 100% business minded in my book. Like he always talks about the community and what they like and making them happy and stuff like that. So he talks very positive about the community. But basically what he does, if we are honest about it, is he uses old TV concepts and makes them social media formats, right? And I think the only reason why he can get away with like blatantly stealing ideas from other shows and just reusing them is because there isn't a big oversight over social media yet, so they can just do whatever they want. If he was working for a TV channel, I think he would have much more problems, and it would be much more obvious for people that it's just like pretty shallow, like TV shows. That's what it is, right? What he's doing. But because he can package it as social media, it's cool and like fresh, and also like the generation that watches him, I'm pretty sure like most of his audience is little children. They don't know these TV formats because they are too young to remember these formats. So he can like really like just go into the past and say, hey, that worked really good, we're gonna do that. This worked really good, we're gonna do that. And then also jump on some trends like Squid Games and just like reuse them and make something new. And there's like a bunch of other channels out there who do the same thing, even team up with TV shows to become this kind of traditional concept, and very, very professional in what they do, but also very uninnovative. They just do classic TV on social media, and a lot of people don't realize it because they play like they are still doing the videos from their bedroom, but it's just classic TV. It's the boring old like Fox and NBC and whatever TV shows, but like reframed as something fresh, you know, which is kind of strange. But for me, because I'm a smaller creator, which it's kind of like the size when I look at the amount of subscribers I have is pretty insane, I can still do what I want, you know, and experiment and play around and make a video about a topic that I'm interested in personally, and hopefully you're also interested in that. But I'm not super business minded where I have a team of people checking out all the different statistics and values on the market to say, oh, this video has to be created next. So there's a looser interaction. In the past, when I worked with clients directly, you of course have to make the client happy because they pay you for it, right? And that's it. Also, like the client has a lot more to say because it's their money, right? So they have a lot more influence about that. And okay, there's this bullet thing again. Although this one could be cooler than the other one. Let's take this one second. Yeah, so there's a lot of freedom, which every time I think about it, I feel like it's insane. The kind of situation I'm in is very independent, basically. I can do what I want, when I want, if I want, you know. It's kind of like, I don't know. Sometimes I think about like these kind of like the Pirates of the Caribbean. You can just like sail around and do your thing, you know, while everybody else is like super stressed, you know. I was sorry. I have to tell you the story. I have to tell you the story. So I was waking up, and then I had breakfast, and then I thought, hey, I should go to the park a little bit, just to like walk, go outside, have some sunshine. And while I walked out of the house, two children came in with their like bags on the back, and then like I just had breakfast. Like, why is school already finished? How is that possible? And I'm just like, I just woke up, and then look at the watch. And it's noon. And school is finished at that time, you know. It's like, what? Oh, okay, all right. And it happens pretty often that I'm like, yeah, I'm just like, my day starts around 1 or 2 p.m. often, you know. Not like getting out of bed, but until I do everything I want to do in the morning. You have the breakfast, you have the meditation, you go for a walk, you like clean up some stuff, whatever. And then you go to the park, and then it's 2 p.m. and you start to do stuff, you know. And for most people, they are like super stressed. Every time I talk to other people, they're like, oh no, I have to do this, I have to do that. I don't have time. We can maybe meet in like 2 weeks or something because I'm busy. I don't know. That might also be fun. I don't know. Maybe that's also good life. But for me, that would be super stressful. I'm really happy to be able to do it the way I do it. And I've always done it like that, which is interesting. So I kind of always carved out that niche for me. What do we have here? Bullet. Make one about a bullet flying in slow motion from left to right. Okay, good. Just criminal, let's abolish them. Yeah, I never understood why does a company have to start at 6 or like 7, 8 in the morning. What's the rush? Why not at 10? You know, what's happening? Even when I had a business, I was like, people are not gonna call me at 8 in the morning. And people aren't going to call me at 9 in the morning. They have other things to do. So they are usually calling me in the early afternoon. So why do I have to sit there in the early morning doing stuff when nothing is happening in the world at that point, right? Yeah. Bullet. Did I write it wrong? Oh, no, but ComfyUI is fixing it for me. So the prompt right now is first-person view of a bullet flying in slow motion from left to right. The bullet spins through the air while with dynamic motion and subtle blur, highlights its path in the style of a cinematic action sequence with sharp detailed focus on the bullet and a dramatic contrast against the blurred background. Meh. Let's see what it does. Right? Can't say for sure how long it takes. Research Places, I remember, starts at 10, the earliest. Really? Research Places start at 10? Interesting. Well, probably depends on what kind of research place that is. What do you think of cock video? That sounds so wrong. X5B, I have not checked that out yet, to be honest. So I have to... Okay, interesting. I will look into that. Can I? Yeah, I will just like... Can we... Hello? Can you bookmark that, please? Hello? No, doesn't want to. Okay, let's make a star here. Done. Okay, leave. Good. There we go. If I'm selling a hamburger but someone else was selling one before but they are almost completely different, would you say that I'm stealing the clients from the other hamburger restaurant? You're probably stealing the clients, you know. Is this already finished? Oh, it's finished, yes. Well, economy isn't endless. That's the main thing, and I think a lot of like even companies get that wrong. You see that a lot in the gaming industry where they say, "Oh, this worked really cool, like Fortnite is really successful. Let's also do a Fortnite because we will also get that amount of players. No, there is just a limited amount of players and they have a limited amount of time, and they will select one of the games and get really good at one of the games and ignore all of the other games. So unless you have something that a lot of people want and that is actually better than the other product, you will just get like a smidge of it, right? And you can see that everywhere. Like, for example, go to Twitch and look at the game that is streamed and then look at the channels. And you will see that the first 3 channels probably have 95% of all the views, and then the rest is like split between the rest, right? With a local economy, of course, it's a little bit different because, for example, if you have a pizza store, and then another pizza store opens that's a little bit closer to you, but it's pizza. It's not like something special. It's just pizza. You probably go to the one that's closer to you. So it still has a certain benefit, things like that, right? And yeah, so there's a lot of interesting things about these kind of economics, but you also have to consider that the market is just not endless out there. Why did we talk about that? Don't know. I mean, you can see like with YouTube, for example, if there is a channel that is very successful talking about one topic, you might have a lot of copycats that try to do the same thing, but most of the people will go to that one channel because they like that one channel, right? Of course, from the copycats, there is people also rising up. They figure out their own style, their own kind of subjects, and then they can grow in that kind of area and maybe even get bigger than the channel that they originally copied. But yeah, it's you have to see today. I think the biggest currency today is the time of attention, because most of the things you do in life, they need attention, and it's not so much about the money, it's more about how many people consume your product even without paying for it, right? So how much attention can you get from a product? That is the currency, and the rest comes with it, right? Especially because the numbers are so big today, because they're like, if you have a digital product, not talking about a real product, digital product. Okay, let's have a look at the videos here. All right, 1 second. There we have the bullet videos. Oh, that's more like do you know that meme where there's like a little like garden gnome is puking a rainbow? It looks a little bit like that, but yeah, it's like it's a bullet with a rocket engine that shoots like rainbow colors. It's kind of cool though. It's kind of nice. I think you can even animate that. Yeah, attention is basically all you need, right, today for things, you know? You see that? Oh, so this is like time moving backwards. Also interesting. Could also be an interesting effect. If you have, I mean, it looks like more like a JPEG that is like getting squished into that bullet, but I kind of can imagine that if you replace the bullet with a magic wand, and the wand is like sucking up the magic, you know, it's kind of cool. But the glitter and stuff is not animated enough, and also the things are all of them are too static. Yeah. Right. It was for me always, I want to work with people who know me, and I'm not really interested in just customers, you know. I want to work with people who know me for who I am and book me because of that. And so, oh, okay, I thought that's gonna be something not good. Okay, this looks like motion, that's good. Okay, and then we have this one here. Let's use that one first because it looks nice. Do we have to crop that? No. Okay. Let me go here. Make one about a black woman standing in a street with a large explosion behind her in slow motion. All right. Please don't forget the pirate cat. Oh yes, the pirate cat. You're right. This is a longer one, but we take it. All right. It's also, by the way, if you think about video games, and you think why, or like also TV shows, why are there so many bad video games and bad TV shows right now on these streaming services? And I think a lot of the answer for that is not just the stock investors and all that kind of stuff, which also plays a part in that, of course, but it is the change in economy. So the question is, why would you make a really good game that works really well with really thought out creative mechanics and everything in there that takes a lot of skill and a lot of work and is like just when instead you can make a bad game with bad, cheesy, easy mechanics that just copycatted what you have done in the other game before. This is why there are so many series right now, like Call of Duty and Assassin's Creed and stuff like that. Because the people are just playing it for a little bit because there are so many games coming out. So if you have someone playing it for, let's say, 3 months, and then going for another game, or even just 1 month and going for another game, but they have a gaming subscription and you have millions of people with the gaming subscription, you still make your money. And because nobody is finishing the game, because they don't have time to finish the game, because there's too many games, it makes more sense to make a bad game with a lot of errors and cheesy mechanics in there. Because still, like, people can live stream it, they can talk about it, they can like make videos about it, you make your money, you have your subscribers, and because the people don't buy the product, who cares if it's super good or not? They didn't buy it in the first place. They bought the subscription and then downloaded it, and also the subscription looks better because you have these big names in there, even though the big names don't mean anything anymore. Also, at the same time, you repeat a recipe that has worked before. And most of the time, let's be honest about it, most people are just too stupid to realize that they play bullshit and they just want to play that. So they rather play the exact same Call of Duty with like slightly different maps every single year than having a completely new game, because in the completely new game, you would have to learn all the mechanics again. You have to learn the maps again. You have to learn the weapons again. You have to like convince your friends to come to that game. You have to be sure that enough people play it so it's actually like it makes sense for you to buy it or download it or stuff like that. And then on the other hand is the low bar of a game that does the same thing every year, but all of your friends is there. You know the mechanics, you know the weapons, you can unlock a ton of stuff. It's not like a good game, but it is an easy game to play, and you know what you're getting. It's the McDonald's formula. Why would you not want that rather than something that is good? Because it sounds good to have something that's good, but is it really? Because the good thing is a high risk, while the bad thing is no risk. What are you going for? And most people go for no risk, you know, because most people are risk averse anyways, right? Whoops, sorry, that was the wrong button. So we just get tricked by our own brain into choosing the worst product because it gives us more security, right? And the same is for TV shows, right? So you want to have like the Grogu baby Yoda, and you want to have the Mandalorian, and you watch a show that is kind of like, yeah, but who cares? But you can talk with your friends. Everybody knows what you talk about. You can post 1 million memes out of that baby Yoda Grogu, and that's it. And this is where the money comes from, right? The rest doesn't mean anything. Why would they make a completely new IP if they can just serve you a bad TV show that you can meme up like crazy, right? A cat as a humanoid pirate. A cat as a humanoid pirate with a Stormy sea in the background. Okay, let's see what it does with that. Okay, make it short. Let's make it shorter. All right, there we go. And by the way, the interesting thing is, like, most people think, oh, these big companies, they're so stupid. They are so weak. They don't like have enough courage to try something new. Do you try something new? No, you don't, right? You try to play it as safe as possible with your life and with your money. If you would invest into something, if you would buy something, especially if it's super expensive, you would go for the most like reliable version that you could get. Let's say you buy a house or you buy a car or something. You check out every parameter about that, every statistic, every kind of thing. Can I trust the brand? Does it have a lot of repairs? Is it like energy? Does it not use like too much energy, stuff like that? And then you buy the car or the house that is the lowest risk and gives you the most bang for your buck. You wouldn't buy some car or like a house from like in a strange location or from a strange brand you've never heard of with a strange crazy design that tries something completely new that is still in development but probably doesn't work yet, right? You do the opposite, right? It's kind of like, it's really interesting if you compare your own life to your video game life. In a video game, you earn, let's say, 500,000, and then you spend 500,000 in GTA on some factory or car you want to have, because you know when I do that investment, I'm going to make the money back faster because of that investment. But in real life, you would never ever spend all of your money and set it on one horse and say, yeah, let's run with it. Some people do, but most people don't, you know? If I would say take all of your savings, everything you have down to the last penny, and buy that one machine because probably it's going to make you money, a lot of people would have very, very sleepless nights about that, right? And companies also, they say, why would we risk anything if we don't have to? And especially if the customers just eat it up, you know? Anyways, we talked too much about business and too little about AI. Okay, we have the cat and we have the other pirate. Not the pirate, sorry, the black lady with the explosion. Oh, that's actually nice. She doesn't move. She's stuck there. Look below the videos created. You have the extend button. Oh, yes, the extend button. I forgot about that. Yeah, you're right. Oh, the cars. One car is driving forward. The other one is driving backward. And then we have some smoke shooting in. So, yeah, some of the stuff doesn't work. You maybe can fix it in post by playing the left part in reverse. But the smoke is probably going to, like, make that pretty difficult. But if you use the video before the smoke comes in, it might be possible. It looks pretty cool, though. All right. Let's see. Also very nice. Oh, look how the car here in the background is kind of slow-mo moving like down, like being pressed down by the explosion. That's actually pretty cool. I wish she was moving at least a little bit. You're a scientist and you explore new areas. I don't know. I kind of like I wish I would do that too, you know, like risk more. Even though if I think about my life, it's kind of like already pretty risky because, well, I kind of like bet everything my whole life on being good enough at talking about stuff so I can live from that, which is crazy, you know? But I'm not like, I'm still thinking about it, and maybe one day I will be able to do that. Very cool with the cat, but the cat doesn't move either. So one of the like things that I would really like to do, I think one, and this might be a huge excuse, but what I really would like to do is like to travel around, explore different cultures, do interviews with people and make videos about that. This kind of culture thing. You could even mix it with AI maybe. And I could do that. I could start tomorrow. Nothing is holding me back. The problem is and this might just be an excuse. I don't really want to do it alone, you know, and I don't have a girlfriend to come with me. And even if you go on a date and tell a woman, hey, how about we travel around the world and do this cool stuff, they think, yeah, it's a cool idea, but of course they have their career and their job and all the kind of like, they are tied into a million different systems, so they just can't do it, you know. Not everybody has this kind of freedom, and which also reminds me again and again that I'm in a very like special situation where I just have that freedom and most people don't, you know. Someone said that I was going to steal the customers of someone that what? Oh, that was retracted. Okay, so just similar. Okay. Lots of RB cash grabs shovelware made by people who really are not happy about making it. Baby care simulators. Disney princess version. Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, right? If you think about it, it kind of makes sense why we have all these bad movies. All right, let's have the car. Let's make a classic prompt here again. Oh, this needs to be cropped a little bit. A car racing down a road at night away from the camera following the car. FPV cinematic light. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's do it. What is the time, by the way? Oh, 1 hour and 40. All right. Why are you retracting so many messages? What's going on there? Too much Batman. Why are you retracting all the messages? Is that happening automatic, or do you retract them or do I retract them? Like not me, but like the bot or something. Why is that happening? I'm a little bit confused here. There are people that do have that freedom, though, not the vast. Yes, there's a lot of people who have that freedom. Like, I wish I was like 20 years old or something. That would be nice. If I was like 25 now, I could find like a girlfriend like that to travel with me around the world. But when I was 25, I didn't have that kind of following. I didn't have the, like, I wasn't a social media content creator and stuff like that. And I didn't have the money to do that. So I didn't do it. Maybe I should have done it back then, you know. That would probably have been the better choice. But of course, if you have no experience with something, the risk feels so high of just like going out there and doing stuff that, yeah, you often just don't do it, which is kind of crazy because I feel like from my personal experience, and this might not be true for everybody, but for my personal experience, if you try something, most of the time it works out, or you realize very soon that it doesn't work out. And even if I like to take risks, I don't like to take unreasonable risks, which means that when I do something, it's almost always something that doesn't that doesn't require a large upfront cost, right? So if you have to invest like 100,000 euros or dollars into something, that is a lot of money that you have to pay back. But if you can figure out to do something for $50, you're not losing anything, or $100 or whatever. You're not losing anything, right? So if you want to do that, you could just like get a used bicycle on the flea market, or maybe even for free, and then use your smartphone, maybe buy a lavalier mic with a wind protection for better audio, and that is really all you need to be a travel vlogger. And then the rest is like, can you actually tell a story? Can you actually bring value to the community that wants to watch you? But today, because the smartphones are so good, that's everything you need, right? So if you're young enough, if you can do that, if you want to do that, yeah, I don't know. Dating? What? I hate dating these days. It's all about politics. About politics? Really? I didn't really have the feeling that dating is about politics. It's just like my life is so different from the life of other people that it makes it a little bit more difficult to find someone. Where's the video? Oh, I didn't download the video yet. And also one thing I have to point out here, Vienna, and I think most people will like agree to that. Vienna is the worst city in the world for dating. It's really the worst. People are so passive here, and kind of like nothing is moving. It's like it feels like a retirement home. It's really, really crazy and bad, and like ugh. It's like nothing moves. It's really ugh. It doesn't even feel good to meet someone because everything is so static. You know, that's not nice. If you go to other countries, you go to Italy, you go to Spain, you go to Asia, you go to America, anywhere you go, like people are interested and open and playful, and they throw a lot of compliments, and you have a lot of fun and laughter and everything. Here it's like not that at all. Not really. If you even manage to get a date, that's the thing. If you go to another country, you could probably have a date like 3-4 times a week. And here, if you have one a month, you can be happy if that works out, you know, because it's a shitty it's a shitty city for dating. It's like the worst city ever, you know. In other cities, no problem, but here, oh, there we have the video. Pretty cool, you know. Which kind of like makes me think I should like move away for a couple of years maybe, because yeah, you know, I don't know, it's just not a good situation, and I don't have enough time to waste anymore, you know. That's the other thing. You know, at a certain time you're too old, and also your partner is too old, and you're like, okay, well, but I want to do cool things, you know, and you can't do cool things when you're like 60 or something, you know, then your body doesn't have enough energy and stuff like that. You're not gonna sleep on the ground in a tent if you're 60, unless you have done that for most of your life and you're already accustomed to that. That video looks actually pretty cool. This is the kind of thing where, like we talked about before, with a video game being created by AI while you play it, that's pretty cool. You know, if that was like trained on GDA and it looks like that and it looks like you're playing a movie, you know, that is pretty amazing. It's pretty cool. Come to Argentina? Probably, yes. Argentina. What do they speak in Argentina? Is it Spanish or is it Portuguese? I think it's Spanish, right? I can speak a little bit of Spanish, but I could learn more. Spanish is a pretty easy language to learn, especially because it has a lot of in common with English and a little bit with German. So yeah. Okay. Do we have more stuff? Let me switch to the big screen real quick so we can check out some other images. I might have forgotten some of the images. Oh, this one is really good. I want to check that out. What is the time, by the way? Oh, we are, well, another 15 minutes. Okay, so we have a little bit more time. Let me just put this in here. FPV of a stormy night with lots of rain and lightning, abandoned city street, cinematic light. Let's write movie scene 8K. There we go. Let's see what this does. Oh, and then also the extension button. There, extend. Okay, let's try the extend thing. Oh. Oh, I can extend it, but I can extend it only by 10 seconds, and now I have to wait. Because I have pressed this twice. Okay. Music model for ComfUI. Have you worked with the music model for ComfUI? Not yet, to be honest. I'm not really a fan of the local music models, but I have to try more because maybe they're not like not as bad as the other models. Like Sonu. Sonu? Is it called Sonu? Sonu is really good. There are 1.9 million people in Vienna. Hopefully you will find someone. Yeah, there's the 1. Oh, you can't even see my screen. Sorry, you can't even see my screen. The problem with Vienna is the location. So Vienna is at the most eastern border of Austria. So right like if you can ride with the bicycle to the next city, which is an eastern city, is Bratislava, right? Um, so Germany is very far away. Switzerland is very far away. Italy is very far away, which means even though you have a lot of people here, there is not a big circle around Vienna with other big cities, especially from Europe, with the European culture. So the events here, they can be pretty big, but they are isolated in that sense. Like, for example, if you have Munich, Munich is surrounded by other big cities. So if you have something like, for example, Oktoberfest, you have people coming not just from all of the world, but from all around the different areas. And because of that, you have a very like specific mix of like a lot of different people, right? And that of course makes it a lot more alive. Now the interesting thing about Vienna is mostly known for Wiener Walzer and Sissy and this kind of old school boring stuff. Vienna is not really known for innovation or being young or being cool or being like fresh and experiment with like yourself and whatever, you know what I mean? Like figure out who you are. Berlin is like that. Maybe London is a little bit like that. New York is certainly like that. Things like that, you know. And so because of that, Vienna also attracts people who are rather like cozy, have this kind of like cozy retirement living room kind of feel in the whole city. There's like nothing is like really over the top here. You can go to all kinds of different, you can go in Vienna, you can basically go to a hardcore punk club, you can go to a opera, and then you can go to, I don't know, a 90s pop music club, and it's the same atmosphere. And you are welcome in all of these locations, you know. It's not like there's not this kind of brushing against each other. There's no area in Vienna where people say, oh, you shouldn't go there. Like in New York, for example, they say, hey, be careful to go into that area. Or like if you want to go to that club, you have to dress in a certain way, but then in the other club, you have to dress another way. Nobody cares in Vienna. It's all the same stuff, you know. And that's kind of like, it plays into that kind of thing of everything is a little bit boring. But anyways. Vienna is still very beautiful, and Vienna has been consistently rated as the city with the highest living standard in the world for, I think, the last 10 years, which is mainly because we have a lot of parks. Living is cheap here. We have very beautiful buildings and everything, so it's very cozy to live here. That is true. It's a very nice city to live. It's not a nice city to experience things, but it's very cozy. It's like a living room. Pretty cool. Much too much lightning. And interestingly enough, and this is one thing I don't understand about these kind of runway models, the lightning that is in the image is not animated, but the rest like is filled with lightning. How does that happen? I don't understand. Why isn't the lightning that is there animated? That often happens, especially with lightning. Maybe it's too thin of an element to actually count as something like that. Okay. What's wrong with cozy? The problem with cozy is you don't find enough people who take a risk or want to do something, you know. That's maybe a little bit of a problem, you know. Like in other countries, is especially if you talk about dating, it's much more open, it's much more playful. They just, I feel in a lot of cases you meet someone, they are like, yeah, let's just try, let's just see what happens. I don't know, you don't know, let's just see, you know. And that's kind of like, that's nice. I feel like that's more how it should be, you know. And here it's like, I don't know, very static and very boring. But I don't know, it's too much complaining. Too much complaining. Okay, let's see if we have some other images here. Oh, the car. Didn't I download a car already? Wait, let me check. 1 second. Oh, we wanted to extend that video. I forgot about that. Let's extend it twice. And then, yeah. We have this car here. Let me switch over again. What could we do here? FPV of a... Off-road car standing landscape at sunset. Time lapse. Clouds moving in the background. 30x speed. Okay, let's see what we get from that. And we have to wait again, of course. There's a new AI tool called Hilo. Okay. It's for video generation. I saw music too, but for some reason, everything I try to log in with my number, I get no registration code. Oh, well, I would be careful if this is not a scam. Is it an actual tool? Did you check if other people have gotten in successfully? Be careful with your kind of like giving away your number or your data or stuff like that, or especially like your passwords and stuff like that. Maybe it's a scam. I don't know. So be careful about that. I mean, if you didn't get a registration code, it might also be in your spam folder on your email. That might be the case. So check for that. Oh, the extended video is done. You saw it on YouTube. Well, that doesn't mean it's real. There's a lot of scammers on YouTube too. I'm surprised there isn't more scammers on YouTube, to be honest. But I think that besides everything like bad we say about YouTube, it actually has a pretty good filtration system for most scams. So this is the same video as before, but now it's extended. That works. That is pretty impressive. Oh, okay. No, it's not impressive at all. It completely falls apart. It turns from it turns from GTA 5 into, oh my god. What is the video game where you have the fog? It's a horror game. They made a really like pretty cool movie about it. Something with S. It starts with S. What is that video game? I'm pretty sure you know. Automatic 1111 is dead. Yeah, pretty much. It's not going to be updated. But Forge is the has inherited automatic 1111. So basically Forge is automatic 1111, but it's going to be updated consistently by the community who's doing it right now. Silent Hill, yes, that's it, Silent Hill. I really liked the movie. Did you like the Silent Hill movie? I enjoyed it. It was pretty nice, although I watched it pretty long ago, so maybe it wasn't as good as I remember it. Oh, this is only at 73%. Carl looked great until it did not. Yeah, that's life. All right. Maybe I should use my live stream for the dating, right? Say, hey, if you want to travel around the world and you're my age or younger than that, that's good. Kind of like, yeah. We could figure something out. That might be interesting. I don't know. Anyways. By the way, you would think, I always thought, and not that I expect that, not that I want that, but I always thought, hey, if the people on YouTube who have a couple of 100,000 followers, they're probably getting a lot of DMs about dating and whatnot. Nope, not a single one. Nothing, nada. Silence. I mean, to be honest, I don't look at most of my DMs, so maybe there's something, I don't know, but no. I thought it's like, I don't know, at a certain size, people are more interested, but no, that's not the case at all, which is interesting. Not like I said, not that I want that, because it's kind of creepy to have someone who says, hey, I'm your fan, so I want to meet you for private things. That's kind of strange, to be honest. That's a little bit, yeah, also kind of like risky, I feel like, because you never know who that is. Oh. The car is like, nope, I'm not gonna be in that scene. Goodbye, have a good day, but yeah, you can do it on your own. Goodbye, baby. Look at this, is so nice. And there we go. The car was not having it at all. The car was like, nope, that's not my scene. I don't like that. Goodbye. Meet other YouTubers. Yes, I would love that. I would actually, I wrote a guy I met last time when I was in LA, and he's pretty rich. And I thought, hey, you have a mansion? I could stay at your mansion. So I could do some AI stuff for you. And like in return, I stay at your place and can connect with people in LA. And he's interested. So maybe we can figure it out. And I'm spending like 1 or 2 months in LA. That would be pretty amazing. And then meet people from there. The problem here in Vienna is also you don't have too much social media creators. Because, like I said, it's like a retirement home here, so they didn't really pick up on social media yet. It's not like on the street you see like tons of people doing dance videos or whatnot. There's nothing here. If you go to other cities, yes, there's a lot of them, but here, no. It's like it's the land behind the time or something like that. Don't know what it's called. So this is the other one. Oh, this is what I wanted. Okay, the wheel here is turning, but you can freeze that in post with a video program. But yeah. That looks kind of like what I wanted. That's pretty cool. It kind of like goes away from the style. So this is also something like I don't really like too much about Runway is the consistency for the style, because as you can see here, it switches from this kind of beautiful like digital painting style into a cinematic style. Oh no, I have that in my prompt. Okay, that's my that is my mistake. Yes. We could actually we could try that. 1 second. Oh no, I don't have it here. Oh no, I have movie scene here. Digital painting art style 8K. Okay, let's try this again. And then we are already at 2 hours. There we go. All right, there we go. The battery dies slowly, very realistic. Yes, because the master parallel parking. Yes, yeah. How much parallel parking do you want? Yes. There we go. That is the best video of tonight. That is amazing. Very nice. Okay. Okay, let's wait for the last one here. Last 2 ones. I can quickly look into if we have like another video that might be nice. Oh, there's a beautiful woman here that might be interesting. What is this? 1 second. The owl is pretty cool, but I'm not sure if this is animating good. What is this? Ooh, beautiful images. Okay, we can look at the images. I'm not turning them into this is nothing. You just sent me a link that says undefined. Oh, okay. There's one more. Okay. I can show you the images though. I think this one was the last one. Oh no, this is the one with the car, but in the other direction. So that's nice. Yeah, my typing is a little bit crazy. This one might be turning out pretty interesting when I turn it into a video. This might be interesting. We can download that actually. 1 second. And then let's have a look at the other images here real quick. So that's the owl. Looks pretty amazing. Really cool. Not sure if this would work because of the wing motion would probably be too much for Runway to animate that. I really hope that they will improve the motion animation, because that's really like missing from there. This one is also a beautiful image. Very nice. But yeah. This might also be pretty nice if you animate it. But again, like movement with a stick or a sword or anything is not something that a Runway can do in a consistent way. Here we have a woman playing piano. That might be good, but it's not 16:9. And she looks like that one actress. I can't remember her name, but you know who I mean, right? Flying owl become hot woman. Yes. There we have a cat on a computer. There we go. Very nice, very cute. Very cute fat cat. And there we have the last one. Oh, there we go. He's smoking some good stuff. Look at that. Okay. I think we're gonna animate the woman, because I think that might be pretty good. Oh yeah. Cinematic lighting. Cinematic light. Okay. Chinese woman looking over a lake. Let's call it a lake. Turning her head towards camera. How do you write flower petals? Let's see. Let's check this real quick. Seems to be right. Okay. Did we try something else? No, I think it's the same as before, right? Or did I do something? I mean, with the digital painting style. Okay, let's try that. There we have that. So let's see if it keeps that style or turns into a video. Nah, it's turning into a video too. I have to ask Timmy from Runway how to keep closer to the style. Probably there is something like a prompt trick you can do to actually stick with the same style. And I also wish they would like introduce a way where you can use the first and last frame. Not just either or. Petals. Oh, did I write it wrong? Okay. Well, let's see if it worked anyways. Maybe it understood it. Petals. Not a pedal. Petal. Okay, cool. Lake turn into hot lava. That the turning thing, something turning into something else, is a little bit of a problem with Runway, because it sometimes just makes a slideshow instead of like actually animating it. It's just like you have one thing and then the next frame is another thing, which is a little bit sad, but yeah, that's sometimes how it works. Okay, it works a little bit. So I think today I did a much better job interacting with the community. So I'm making a little bit of progress. I really wonder how the big like streamers do it, where they have like hundreds of comments like flowing through the chat, and then also they play video games at the same time. I'm already a little bit overwhelmed by doing this and reading the chat at the same time, and they play like, I don't know, Call of Duty or something that really takes a lot of attention, and then reading the chat at the same time. It's really crazy. Oh, look at that. If the flowers on her hair wouldn't fall down, that would actually be nice, but she doesn't turn her head. The flowers falling is actually nice though. It looks a little bit cheesy. More like a cheap animation from an online ad or something, but it's not bad. Like, really imagine where this is going to be in 10 years. I really hope that when the bubble of AI bursts, that AI will still like stay around and be developed, and there is not going to be like an AI dark age, like it happened multiple times with VR. But on the other hand, like, AI already has so many real world applications that are already used in products successfully. I feel actually like video generation and image generation are basically the weakest links in AI, because all of the other things that you can do, like generating a text or music or driving a car or stuff like that, like either the little mistakes are not that apparent, or it is a much more controlled environment, right? But images, in an image there is so many simultaneously data happening, because everything in the image has to be correct at the same time, that is a problem. While on the other hand, other mediums, they happen over time, like creating something or having a chat with a bot, or driving a car or playing music. All of that happens over time, and then you reconstruct it in your memory. But an image or a video, everything happens at the same time, and then you can compare the different parts to each other, and then you figure out, oh, it's actually not that good, you know. So yeah, but let's see. All right, I think we are pretty much at the end of the time for the stream, at least. So that was pretty cool. It was very nice to see all of your images and try them out in the video AI, and also chat with you. And probably tomorrow, either I'm gonna make a video about Forge, or I'm gonna make a video about that kind of California bill. Maybe about the bill because it's a little bit more pressing, but the Forge video is coming for sure. And then I'm gonna also look into other UIs, like Invoke AI and stuff, other stuff we haven't heard about in a long time, to see where they have gone and if it's like worth downloading them or not. So yeah, it was very nice chatting with you. Thank you very much for being here with me, and I'm gonna do the next live stream next Sunday again. Thank you very much. Let me find the end screen, and see you soon, my friends. Bye.